Well, hey everybody, welcome back to Elysium. I wanted to go over the card mechanics for Cloak the Gathering. This is a card that requires the obfuscation ability. I've got the old artwork and the newer artwork. It's the same card though. First of all, what is obfuscate? In Vampire the Masquerade, lower level obfuscate allows a vampire to turn themselves invisible. Higher level obfuscate allows a vampire to turn other things invisible. And both of those are represented in these card mechanics. First of all, I'll point out that this is not an action, it's an action modifier. So using this card does not cause your vampire to lock. And that's actually stated here on the old version, does not tap the playing vampire. But that's actually redundant because we already know it's not an action. It's an action modifier. So a vampire locks to perform an action, and then if somebody tries to block them, then that vampire can play this card to get +1 stealth. But what does the superior version do, the bolded text? How does that work? That actually changes which vampire is playing the card. This is kind of tricky, and this is why I wanted to go over it. Because if you use the inferior version, the acting vampire is playing the card. But with superior obfuscate, the vampire playing this card is not the acting vampire. Because it's higher level obfuscate, you're turning somebody else invisible. So for example, let's say we've got this cool non-vampire minion out, the ally, the muddled vampire hunter. And we've got this vampire also in play, and he has superior obfuscate. And the vampire hunter locks to perform an action, and then one of your opponents says, I am going to block that action. Then this vampire, without locking, can declare that he is playing Cloak the Gathering with superior obfuscate, so he's going to choose the bolded text, only usable by a ready vampire other than the acting minion. The acting minion gets +1 stealth. So without locking, this guy plays that card to give the acting minion +1 stealth, and the acting minion does not have to be a vampire, which is what makes the card kind of cool. It's one of the few ways that a vampire discipline can be applied to a non-vampire. So that is Cloak the Gathering. And the artwork is kind of interesting. We have two very different pictures. Randy Gallegos, I think what he was going for in his illustration was either an invisible vampire running through water or 4 or 5 invisible vampires all standing in the water. Whereas Eric Deschamps, he decided to illustrate a bunch of people slowly turning invisible. But anyway, yeah, that is Cloak the Gathering. Now, what do you do if the acting vampire has superior obfuscate, but doesn't want to apply the +1 stealth to somebody else? They want to apply it to themselves. Well, remember, if you have superior obfuscate, you can choose the lesser version. You can choose the non-bolded text if you want. So you just do that. If the acting vampire is the one with the superior obfuscate, then you just go with the +1 stealth rather than the bolded text. But the cool thing about the bolded text is it allows a vampire who is not even performing the action to give stealth to another minion. Cool card. Thanks for watching.